We've never seen an NBA season quite like this one. Games are being postponed left and right, teams are playing with half their squad, and the NBA is passing out 10-day contracts like they're candy. Shout out to Isaiah Thomas for getting not one, but 2 contracts with separate teams. Also, what the is going on with Ben Simmons? It's been a wild season so far, but I guarantee the 2020 playoffs will be even crazier. So let's try to break down the NBA playoff picture as it stands today. I've separated the teams into 3 categories: the frontrunners, the sleeper picks, and the most dangerous. Let's start with the Eastern Conference. The frontrunners in the East have to be the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets entered the season as heavy favorites to win the NBA championship. They faced a number of crazy obstacles, and they're still number 2 in the East. Kevin Durant is in MVP form right now. He's averaging 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. Harden is finally getting back into the swing of things, and Joe Harris is likely to make an appearance before playoffs as well. This means we haven't even seen the best of this team yet, and that is undoubtedly scary for everyone else. Also in the frontrunners category are last year's champion, the Milwaukee Bucks. The defending champs still have Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is arguably the league's best two-way force. Giannis is quietly averaging 28 points and 11 rebounds. The Bucks currently sit at 3rd in the Eastern Conference, and they just stomped the Nets in Brooklyn. They're getting great contributions from Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Bobby Portis. This Bucks team has championship experience, a deep bench, and Giannis. But let's not forget what happened last year when the number 3 ranked Bucks faced the number 2 ranked Nets. A depleted Nets team was one big toe away from stopping the Bucks' run. They definitely don't want to run it back against a healthy Nets team. Our sleeper pick in the East was going to be the Miami Heat, but since they're ranked number 3, you can just throw them into the frontrunner category. So instead, I'm going with my hometown Philadelphia 76ers as the sleeper pick. The Sixers have been a mess from the start of the season. Ben Simmons refuses to play. Joel Embiid has missed 11 games, but somehow they are still ranked 5th in the Eastern Conference and are only 2 games back. Tobias Harris, Seth Curry, and Joel Embiid have kept the Sixers afloat. Joel is averaging 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. Tyrese Maxey has been amazing in his second season. He's stepped up into the starting point guard position and is averaging 17 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. The main reason this team is a sleeper pick is because of the Ben Simmons situation. If the Sixers can land a top talent before the February 10th trade deadline, then all of a sudden this team has a chance. If Ben returns to the Sixers, they'll be a tough squad, but I think there'll be too much inner turmoil to make a serious championship run. The most dangerous team in the East are the Chicago Bulls. Unlike most of the top contenders in the East, this Bulls team hasn't made the playoffs since 2017, and no one really expected anything different coming into the season.
Chris, have the Chicago Bulls done enough to make themselves a threat to the Bucks or Nets?
Heavens no! No!
But an entirely new roster has changed this team's mentality, and they are first in the NBA Eastern Conference. Alex Caruso and Lonzo Ball have been revelations for Chicago, both offensively and defensively. Zach LaVine is still balling. He's averaging 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists on nearly 50% shooting. Nikola Vucevic is finding his rhythm. He's currently underperforming, but still averaging 16 points and 11 rebounds. And DeMar DeRozan is having an MVP caliber year. Make sure you check out our video on DeMar if you want to see how he responded after being called the worst trade of the 2021 offseason. You definitely don't want to match up with the Bulls come playoff time. Although they are top of the Eastern Conference, this Bulls team has thrived as being the NBA's underdog team thus far. Moving out west, we have the Golden State Warriors, who are definitely in the frontrunners category. Curry is having another MVP type year. Curry is averaging 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. But get this, Steph is having one of his least efficient shooting seasons of his career. He is shooting 42% from the field and 39% from 3. Mere mortal numbers. We should see these numbers drastically improve once the Warriors fully integrate Klay Thompson into their lineup. Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, and Jordan Poole have also been amazing this year. When healthy, this Warrior team looks just as capable as some of their other championship teams did. Oh yeah, James Wiseman, their 2020 lottery pick, has also started training with the team and might even make an appearance come playoff time. Again, the Phoenix Suns have somehow flown under the radar, but they are the best record in the entire NBA. We've seen what they can do in the playoffs, so they are an easy frontrunner out west. This year, Chris Paul is averaging 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 10 assists per game. His leadership is winning games and improving everyone around him. DeAndre Ayton is having the best year of his career. The big man is averaging 17 points, 11 rebounds, and is their anchor on the defensive end. Devin Booker is continuing to play like an all-star with 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Maybe this year he could actually be selected to the all-star team rather than being a backup. Our sleeper pick from out west is the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets will always have a chance as long as they have a prime Nikola Jokic. The former MVP is an exceptional long-range shooter and boasts incredible passing and dribbling skills. The Joker is averaging 26 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists, which is virtually the same production as his MVP season last year. But the reason the Nuggets are the sleeper pick is because they are currently riddled with injuries. Michael Porter Jr. is out with a back injury and will likely miss the playoffs. Jamal Murray has been out with a torn ACL, but he might be back by the end of the regular season. So as good as the Joker is, he cannot do it all his own, but watch out if Jamal makes a comeback before the playoffs. The Utah Jazz are the most dangerous team out west. They are currently ranked 3rd in the Western Conference, and they've turned themselves into a perennial playoff team. Their strength in hitting threes and preventing turnovers is evident. Rudy Gobert is having a career year, averaging 15 points and 15 rebounds. He's the league leader in rebounds, field goal percentage, and win shares, which is basically an estimate of how many wins he's contributed to his team this year. Donovan Mitchell is playing great too and is likely to be named an All-Star again. All this team needs to do is carry the regular season success into the postseason. Easier said than done, as they could not do so last year. Defensively, they were extremely poor, and they can't make the same mistakes if they don't want to crash out in the second round again. That should be it, but I can't talk about the playoffs without mentioning the Los Angeles Lakers. So I'm going to throw them into their own category. The team that the NBA wants to see win a championship. In the offseason, they let go of several key players to ensure the acquisition of Russell Westbrook. Thus far, this strategy has seemed to be a bust. Russell has played 40 games. He's averaging 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, which is solid, but he only has 1.4 win shares. Basically, his stats aren't converting to wins. LaMelo Ball has similar numbers, but played 7 less games and has 2.7 win shares. So the Lakers are in a conundrum. In trading several of their players, the Lakers are left with an aging squad that is rarely at full strength due to injuries. Most of their wins this season have come from teams below the 500 mark, and they've yet to go on a solid win streak. But time and time again, we learn that you just cannot count LeBron James out. The moment he stepped back on the court for the Lakers, they became a contender again. At 37 years old, LeBron is averaging 29 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. If he, Anthony Davis, and Westbrook are fit during the playoffs, I expect to see them in the Western Conference Finals. But Frank Vogel desperately needs to figure out a combination that allows this trio to thrive offensively while also being defensively solid. So far, he's been unsuccessful, and he's running out of time. So what do you think of my list? Who do you think will win an NBA championship this year? Which teams do you think will underperform, and which teams are going to shock the world? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed these longer videos, hit the subscribe button and tick the notification bell.